Hey there, Russ here. Welcome back to the shop. It's been a couple weeks since I've done a video, so I thought, well, maybe I should at least do an update on my OSB wall, because as you know, when I started this project, it's going to have a lot going on here. So let's go over where I've kind of got it now. I've got it comfortable. I can now use the Mitersaw completely, and the dust collection on it works really well, I have to say. It's not pretty, but then in my shop, I don't do pretty. You can turn that into something pretty if you want, if you prefer looking more like a J. Bates shop. But here, we just do practical and cheap. So, the whole wall has been done in OSB, as you know. When I started this project, I told you that's what I was going to do. And so 99% of this is all OSB plywood, plus pocket hole screws. Everything is screwed to the wall with pocket hole screws and screwed to each other with pocket hole screws. Very strong, simple and easy to make. So making all this stuff was really pretty easy and cheap, and I didn't have to build it and lift it up in there. I just put it up one piece at a time. So anyway, so much about engineering it. So as you know, over here I have my till. My saw till is right here with all my saws on it. I started my planer till here and here. That's where all my planes are going to go, on my planer till. And then, of course, my charging station, otherwise known as my Christmas tree when I got all the batteries in there running. And that has really been a nice addition. My shop vac behind here is a small 2-gallon or 1-gallon shop vac. Very small. And I have it hooked up to my Mitersaw station right here so that it sucks the sawdust out of the blade. That does a pretty good job, actually. And what doesn't go there, instead of going all over, it all falls into the box down below. So that's all open and everything can go down in there. So if anything gets sprayed around or gets bumped up onto a workbench or something, I can just sweep it all into there. So, and I did a video on this and the box and that sort of thing. So that has worked out really nice. I store a couple of my specialized vices up here so that I can have them readily. If I need them, I can attach them to a workbench anywhere, the way they're set up. So anyway, I decided on this side I put a countertop on here with the OSB 2x4 across the front, so as to give me a little bit of strength here at this point. And this is my outfeed table for my Mitersaw to the right of it. And it's about 7 foot 9 inches to the wall. So I can put an 8-foot board in here and cut it, as long as I'm cutting off at least 3 inches. So to the right of the saw, it works really well and gives me more than enough capacity to do most of my cutting. I also can take my Workmate, my Worksharp 3000, or my Craig jig and pull it out here. I'm going to put this plate down and fasten it down with this so that I can just grab this and snap it down, and I'll be able to take and hold either one of those in place right here when I want to use it. When it's not, they're pushed back up to the back, so I still have my clearance here for when I'm cutting on the Mitersaw. So this is going to have a lot going on. This is my dust bucket for quick emptying. And it goes to that's where all the dust that comes out of, there. Usually it's not that difficult. Anyway, but it makes it easy to empty. And so all the dust that goes up here goes into there instead of into the shop vac. So I can take that off. I have to take about a half a dozen screws out to get to the shop vac. Maybe once a year, every other year, I'll probably have to go in there just to check it. I'm going to put a filter. This whole box has the shop vac encased. So right here I have an opening where the air escapes. And I'm going to probably put a filter on it here somehow so that all the air will actually be filtered 100% then. Right now, I do get a slight amount of spray dust, overspray, that comes down here. And I am going to fix that. So, but at this point, this thing actually works pretty well on this side of my Mitersaw station, my OSB wall. I keep my drills and my one circular saw up here for my Ryobi and all my batteries, so that everything is right here close to the charging station. So this whole side here it's pretty well organized, even though it does not look organized. It's nice to have everything like this and quickly at my fingertips now. Right above here is where I decided my shop vac is gone. This is the one I cut down. I did a video on it. Just look up shop vac, and my most recent ones, I think there's like 3 of them, where I cut that down and mounted it up there, and I get really great suction from that thing. Again, I have a quick bucket here for emptying, so that anything that goes into the cyclone drops into here instead of going up to my shop vac, and that gives me pretty good coverage. Now, I just put a board up here to wrap this on, but I have decided this is a great place to have this. But one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a better holder for the hose. And in fact, I'm actually thinking on the design. I have this really cool idea in my head of how to make this so that it actually rolls up like you roll up a hose, outside hose up on a reel. So I'd like to put this on its own reel, because when I pull it out, it'll run out about 22 feet. And so I get pretty good coverage across the room with it without any problem. And I use this same vacuum on my panel saw when I do it. So it does reach pretty far. On a remote that I keep right here, excuse me. And if I need it, I can clip this thing anywhere on my apron or something, but most of the time it just resides right here, since most of the time I'm using the hose right here. So this has all worked out pretty nicely. Now to the other side, I originally, if you look over here, right there is my white door. That's a walkout door to the outside, and that's about 8 feet to there. So I do have my rigid sander here, my belt oscillating sander, and it's on wheels. So if I need more than 6.5 feet on this side, I can roll that, swing it around out of the way, no problem. Originally, I was going to build another counter over there like I did over here, but I really wanted to incorporate water. And if you remember, I built that dry sink a year or so ago, a year and a half ago, and that's it right there. And I ended up putting it right there, the tub, the sink, everything sets here, the water, and the spare water's down below along with the drain and the drain bucket that everything goes into. So that has turned out to be a pretty good area, and it doesn't interfere. I still get about 4 feet of support on the board for this cabinet. Now, here's my problem. This cabinet is one of my original cabinets from my original saw when I built a nice big platform with I built 3 cabinets with my table saw in the middle, so I had a nice big top on it. And that was the first major saw that I had. It was just a contractor saw. So since then, I bought another saw, a unisaw, that I took this apart. The router, which is at the other end, that cabinet is still over there by my table saw setup. But this was the other cabinet on the other end of that whole assembly. And it's kind of found a home here. Been moving it around, never really found a permanent place for it. But it's nice because it's got 5 drawers in it now. And quite honestly, I can take... Sorry, I bumped the mouse on it. I can take this, and I had to raise it at 3/4 of an inch in order for it to be level with my miter saw. So now this is in perfect alignment for that. And I have plenty of room to go all the way out that way. If I have to, if I move a couple of things, I can go all the way to the back wall with a long board. So I could get, if I had to, I could put a 20-foot board in here without any problem and cut it. So I think this will work out real well. Most of the time, 4 feet is all I need. And so as long as I have 4-foot clearance on each side of my saw all the time, so I don't have to move something to do that, this works real well. And I'm very happy with it. I really like having my dry sink back in operation. It's been down for a while, tucked in the corner while I was rearranging this wall. So it's now found a home. My oscillating sander is so much easier to get to over here, right here, and I can get to it from the other side there right by the door, so it makes it real easy to work at that piece of equipment. So anyway, that's kind of the whole thing in a nutshell. Both to the left and to the right of my Mitersaw, and I have a lot of things on this wall now, but I'm still not done. I have some other things I want to do over here, and as you can tell over here, I still got quite a bit of wall space that I can do stuff with. So I do want to put one of those Ryobi fans and hang it on a special bracket so that if I'm standing over here, I can turn that fan and aim it wherever I want and turn it on. So I'm working on that, and it'll also work off the same remote that the shop vac does. So anytime I'm in this area, along this wall, I'll be able to use that fan without any problem if it's warm. So anyway, that's it. I just wanted to give you a quick update. Like I said, there's a lot of things that it does now that managed to pull all sorts of things from the shop and bring it all to one place. So this is starting to come together. It's not as pretty as I probably imagined it when I first started, but like I said, I don't do pretty. I tend to do ugly. That's the nice thing about being retired. I can do it whatever way I want. So I thought sometimes ugly is fun, quite honestly. So if you have any questions about anything I got here, or you have any ideas how to change it, make it better, leave them in the comments. So if you like this video, hit that like button. Most importantly though, please come back again because I'm nowhere near done. Thanks. We'll see you again very soon.